Welcome back to the show. We got a great one lined up. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. Let me see if we can get this going here. There we go. Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.42 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off 2.4. Bitcoin, 107,000 plus. Ethereum holding a 2,400 plus. XRP, the number 4 spot, is at 218. Now we're flat on the. Now let me just refresh this. That doesn't feel right. Okay, it says we're at 220 and we're up 0.8 on the 24 and up 0.9 on the 7-day. Looking at the range of price, let me refresh this again here. Yes, at 220, ranging between 217 and a surge to 232 we saw. So sitting at 220 right now. Now, what I want to unpack right now is for everyone who has ever been a Linqto investor, including myself and a lot of you out here. There is a new article that dropped. Hot new firm opened the private market to the little guy. Now it is in big trouble. Now, I'm not able to read this entire thing, and somebody did send me shots of it, of the article. And what it really does is it cites the former CEO, Bill Saris, as doing things and taking control of the company internally and making decisions defiant to what the legal team may say. That's the suggestion I got from the article. Now, are these things true? I don't know. But if they are, they're absolutely disturbing to me, as they will be to you when you see this. Where I'm at now is that there will be a Twitter space later today at 3 o'clock. Let me just say this, show this part really quickly here. It's John Deaton who will be holding a update for Linqto, the good, the bad, and the very ugly, he says. Now, that will be what will be discussed today at 3 will be him explaining. He says, I'll explain why I called the Linqto situation imminent bankruptcy a total cluster F. For one, there are approximately 13 to 14,000 Linqto customers. About 11,500 of those 13 to 14,000 customers purchase shares, units, special purpose vehicles known as SPVs in Ripple. These are not Ripple shares per se, like many people believed, assumed, or allegedly were led to believe that shares, units of SPVs that owned the Ripple shares. I've been told 4,000 to 5,000 of those SPVs, Ripple investors, are non-accredited, which makes this a regulatory compliance nightmare. I've also been told the SEC Enforcement Division is heavily involved. I'm certain another 3-letter agency is also involved. I'm guessing the DOJ. He says, I will relay everything I know and what everyone can expect and answer any questions that I'm able to answer today at 3 p.m. What you'll learn is what I've been informed, and it will all be very public very soon, he says. And that is the money people invested in almost all of the shares that should be SPVs are in fact there. That's the good news. The rest sucks. Disclaimer, he says, I can only share what I've been told. I've seen some documentation that verifies or corroborates some of what I've been told, but I know this. As far as management, previous or current, I am not on any side. The only side I'm on is my fellow customer's side, and I want to echo that sentiment right now. That's exactly how I feel. I am on your side. And as you know, DAI, myself, because we did work with this company, we are under NDA, and we can't speak to this in large part, and it really, really pisses me off. I want to say so much, and my silence has been me showing you I can adult. Okay. I want to say so much, but at this point, I'm encouraging everyone to please tune in to John Deaton's Linqto update I would encourage you to listen to him to get the most accurate reflection of what is going on there. I side exactly where John Deaton sides in this matter, that I am not on any side. The only side I'm on is my fellow customer side, because that's all I care about is us as a whole, as customers who obviously did not have any privy information to any of what went on that was spoke about in this article or reported on in this article. So, whatever went on internally with the previous leadership is still to be determined as to the versus and comparable to the new leadership. There's all kinds of rumors, and I think the best thing we can all do, and I love to speculate, but I think the best thing to do in a moment this massive and serious is to listen and tune into John Deaton to find out exactly facts from fiction, get the most accurate information to date right now, and then try to figure out how this affects anyone who's a customer, accredited or non-accredited, because everyone should be protected. That much I believe. So we'll see what goes on from there. Now, with that being said, there was some questions and comments that jumped off underneath John Deaton's post about the Twitter space later today. And Just a Cartoon Dog said, I was under the impression these were actual pre-IPO Ripple shares. No idea what they are now. That's a lot of XRP I could have purchased. David Schwartz came in. The way it works is that you don't own the shares directly, but you own a portion of a legal entity that owns the shares. So if you bought Z shares, you own X fraction of a legal entity of Y shares, where XY equals 100. This generally lets you buy shares more easily in a smaller quantities, but the equivalent per share price is usually higher. And that's another point too. There's a huge talk in the article about how much of a markup was on products offered on Linqto's platform. And I understood that there was a markup, but the suggested markup in the article is astronomical. I mean, mind-blowing. I mean, I understood that there was a markup because they were trying to do lower minimums and give people access, democratizing finance in their own way, and that this was a stepping stone to getting people into this product. And here I understand that, the markup was just egregious, essentially, is what the report in the Wall Street Journal said, which that has to be dealt with too. So hopefully we'll get information from John about that. So the question asked, what would happen if Linqto go bankrupt if we don't own the shares directly, but part of the entity that does? And then he answers here, the legal entity that owns the shares that own part of should not have exposure to Linqto going bankrupt. This is what it means to be either segregated funds or bankruptcy remote, right? And the difference between the two is segregated funds from a bankruptcy. Bankruptcy remote is simply by definition means that you've converted these assets to SPVs or an SPE. So either a special purpose vehicle or a special purpose entity. But segregated funds is segregated funds regardless. So a direct encumbrance on the shares to cover Linqto's debts shouldn't happen. But the entity may face operational challenges depending on exactly how it's structured. So more information needs to be figured out from there. Now, with that being said, let's listen to yourself from the CEO currently, Dan Siciliano from Linqto, the new CEO, say that everything is there. Listen to him talking to John Deaton at XRP Las Vegas 2025 on stage.
One of the theories out there, and I'll be honest, I thought it could be possible early on, is that you are a corporate raider and that you have come in here and you are going to drive it down and then you're going to buy it for pennies on a dollar and all that kind of stuff. So I want to ask you face to face, is that what you're doing?
No. It was sort of a funny moment. Like I told this to my wife, and she laughed. And I said, "Well," she's like, "Oh, someone actually said that." I'm like, "I don't know how to take that exactly, but okay." So the two choices at the moment are either skittish academic who panicked when the SEC wrote a nasty note, or corporate raider intent on driving down the value of Linqto so we can buy it for pennies on the dollar and magically sprinkle reputation dust and reinvigorate it overnight. neither of those are correct. So no, definitely not. Not a corporate raider.
Okay.
I thought I was taking my dream job, just to be.
Okay. And why? Why was it a dream job?
Because Linqto is the best idea ever, right? Like if you.
It really is the best idea ever. That's how it started out. The idea that you could give people a better option, a lower minimum, to get exposure to the private equity market. You know, we're going to have to see where this shakes out. But again, previous leadership, according to this Wall Street Journal article here, is suggesting that what went on there was completely egregious. And there's no way anybody could have known it. Not you, not me, not anyone. And unfortunately, this is the way business are run sometimes, is that they cut corners and they do things that they shouldn't have. Now, the question comes in is, what is the new leadership's intentions? Are they using the bad actions and bad transgressions of the previous leadership to take control of everyone's assets on the platform? Now, Dan, the new CEO, said in this clip, no. He just said no. So, what's left? What's left is to tune in to this today, the Twitter space today, which you can find on my profile or on John Deaton's profile, and tune in today. Or we have to also wait, once we get information from that, we have to wait to see what the next actual physical actions are by this new leadership at Linqto, which will begin to show us all exactly what the true intentions are moving forward. However it goes, I stand with you. However it goes, know this: if I don't speak on it, it's because I am limited to do so. But at the end of the day, I can say this much: I am with you. And in most cases, I can guarantee you that I am probably more upside down in this investment with Linqto than anyone who's listening to my voice right now. I wish for the best. I hope for the best. But more than anything, I am preparing for whatever is next. Let's look at this. Just in, Bloomberg raises approval odds for spot XRP Solana LTC ETFs to 95%. Oh, this could be a fantastic year. Solana says they're moving forward. Tokenizing stocks are now live on Solana. And with Kraken FX and XStocks Phi, 55 plus US equities like Tesla, NVIDIA can be now traded on Solana, fast global self-custody. Now, I want you to think about all the young people in the generations of the world who will find tokenized stocks from this side of the aisle. That's going to be incredible. You're going to, I'm telling you, the internet of value is about to explode. And then we had this yesterday, just in, Robinhood to launch tokenized stocks in Europe. And I took that opportunity to remind everyone when Robinhood announced that they were buying Bitstamp, and Bitstamp announced that they were working on tokenized stocks and derivatives with Ripple and the XRP ledger. Come on in. Then we get this announcement also. Today, major crypto ecosystem connected to the world for the first time. Squid is the gateway. Congratulations to Squid Router. The XRP ledger has settled billions since 2012. Today, it plugs in to the rest of crypto. The XRP ledger EVM sidechain is live, bringing Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, and Cosmos all together now. This, I tell you, is a big first step towards the birth of the Internet of Value. And this is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. It is happening. And it makes sense that it would all be connecting and tying in to XRP Ledger, which has a layer 1 decentralized exchange built into it. The Internet of Value is being born right before our eyes. Solana, SUI, the XRP Ledger, now unified under one protocol, Axelar. This is the Internet of Value being born. And Vlad Tenev at Robinhood is telling you what's coming next.
So I think it's time to move beyond Bitcoin and meme coins into real world assets that exhibit fundamental utility.
There you go. That means tokenizing the rest of the world's financial markets, ladies and gentlemen, is what that means. And here you see real world utility is coming. Lock in. I fat-fingered spelling world wrong like a jackass. I'll get some flashcards after the video's over. Much to learn you have. In his best Yoda, Chad Steingraber, give him a follow, says July is a big month. July 20 is 0 day. And you know that we got Fed Now going live, ladies and gentlemen, in July. In July, right? There you have it. And you see the diagram here tying all of the digital asset space to real world traditional financial players out here like the Federal Reserve. Yeah, it's unbelievable. ACI, Volpay. Look at all of this is laid out here. How many years we have been watching all of this be put together and built, and now they're about to pass and sign legislation into law, which I believe will be the catalyst going forward. Matter of fact, Blockchain Backer, shout out to him, give him a follow. He says here, what will be the catalyst narrative for crypto to go up? Big, beautiful bill sign, surprise crypto related, surprise macro related, utility actually happens. And I say the choice wasn't offered, but passing and signing into law all necessary crypto legislation. The United States government, that's the crypto catalyst at my house. And if we see that happen, the conversation about starting to take profits to $6 to $7 is going to be on the table. But meanwhile, we know Egg Crypto just showed a pattern yesterday. The W pattern could lead to XRP at $40 plus. And Vincent Van Code, a developer. And how about this for a developer, software engineer stepping out into the prediction land? I love this. I want more of it. He says, of course, like many, I hold XRP in hopes of price going up. So it makes sense to have an opinion. And his opinion is $30 to $50. And this is no shill. He says, I don't expect anyone to agree with me. I'm not a prophet or a time traveler, but my investment in XRP is based on this opinion. What I am not sure about is when, and that is the minor part. Share your opinion on price. We'll have them. Don't let clown accounts make you feel silly about having one. I think this is nice to know that others are in the same boat as you. And you know what? I am in the same boat as him. I was going to say, the first initial cycle, $20, $25, but I like the 30 to 50. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and sign on with Vincent Van Code. Vincent, put me down for the 30 or 50. I'm in. I love it. I don't know what this thing will do or when it'll do it. I'm here because I ultimately believe XRP will go to four and five digits. And not too long from now, I believe we'll all be able to have the option to never sell your XRP and earn a yield. And that is one of the most exciting things that I'm absolutely waiting for. Holy grail moment, if you will. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. We're going into the freedom zone. Oh, I hope you will join us. Come on in. All